always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, as usual, many things to say, many things to mention. The market is moving, and so we jump happening. And I want to start with Arsenal, because the Premier League champions are going to be busy in the next weeks of transfer window. It's been quiet during the World Cup for Arsenal. They tried some approaches for Bruno Guimaraes, they've been working on Morgan Rogers, but it's going to be busy and busy in the next weeks. Today we start talking about Arsenal, about the goalkeeper situation, because obviously David Raya is staying, and the future of Kepa, the backup goalkeeper, is not guaranteed yet. There is a possibility for him eventually to leave Arsenal in this summer transfer window. There is this chance. Depends on proposals. There were links with Inter, but completely wide of mark, never been a possibility. Inter already said no to Kepa around April when he was offered to Inter. There are some possibilities in Spain. Let's see if Kepa decides to go or to stay at Arsenal to compete as backup goalkeeper with David Raya. In any case, Arsenal have agreed a deal with Meslier, the goalkeeper from Leeds United, now available as a free agent. Agreement done between Meslier and Arsenal on contract terms, and so he's ready to go to Arsenal, eventually to be second or third goalkeeper. We will see that, depending on Kepa, but Meslier said yes to Arsenal. Don't forget about Arsenal, about the winger, because Arsenal will sign an important winger in the summer transfer window. That's for sure. I told you several times, it's not in that. And it's not based on who is going, who is staying. In any case, Arsenal will sign a top winger. Leandro Trossard could go to Besiktas. There is an agreement club to club, 18 million euros plus 2. But waiting on Leandro Trossard to decide, a delegation from Besiktas will travel to the US to have an initial conversation with Leandro Trossard to present the project. Then the player doesn't want to decide anything during the World Cup, but after the World Cup, Leandro Trossard will make a decision on Besiktas. But in any case, Arsenal want to sign a top winger. The name, the top priority they have in mind remains Morgan Rogers. Arsenal want to sign Morgan Rogers. The agreement with the player, from my understanding, is quite close. It's something that Arsenal see as close, not a problem. But Aston Villa start at £130 million. This could be eventually negotiated, we will see. But Aston Villa start at £130 million for Morgan Rogers. So very expensive. We have to see what's going to happen in the club-to-club conversations, but Arsenal are working on the Morgan Rogers deal as a top priority. Many questions today again on Barcola. Guys, on Barcola, I maintain my position. Now I see the name of Barcola linked so much to Arsenal and to other clubs. Till last week he was untouchable. Now I see him linked to several clubs. The reality, guys, is that Barcola is not untouchable. Barcola has serious possibilities to leave Paris Saint-Germain in the summer transfer window. I maintain my information since April, and I stand by my information. I keep telling you, don't forget also Liverpool, because both Liverpool and Arsenal are calling for Barcola. Liverpool have the player on the very top of their shortlist since the summer transfer window 2025, and Liverpool remain interested in Barcola. So Barcola is 100% on the list of Liverpool. I maintain my information. Barcola is also appreciated by Arsenal, but is not position number one. Position number one is Morgan Rogers, position number two is Barcola, and there are more options in terms of wingers. So that's the situation at Arsenal. Then, important to mention, for Paris Saint-Germain is not untouchable, because the new contract talks are completely on standby, stalling for a long time. So Barcola PSG, at the moment there is no agreement over new deal. And also, important to say, PSG would ask important money. So who's going to sign Barcola? It's not just about the interest, it's also about the package of money they're going to present to Paris Saint-Germain. So that's the situation. Don't forget also that PSG are selling Kangin Lee to Atletico Madrid, and that Paris Saint-Germain are going to attack again for Magnus Akliush, without forgetting also the situation of Yann Diomande. So that's the story around
players. There's been a bit of talk about Morgan Rogers. I'm sorry, Villa fans, I know it's annoying you, but there has been talk about it. We know Villa's, they've made money in Europe this year. They may not need to, but that kind of player, which, I mean, we've seen with Declan Rice, the difference that makes.
I like him a lot, I do, and I think he should be someone that Arsenal are looking at and targeting. And again, apologies to Villa fans, I'm not trying to buy your player before you've said, and you've even said he can go, but I do I do think now, having conquered the Premier League, if you like, the next thing you got to think about is how do we maintain that, which means you need to refresh things and freshen it up. But I also think we need to be looking at players that are not just elite on the UK football stage, but that are on the European level. Because I think you look at our front line and as much depth as we've had and how that's helped us through the season, there isn't a Kvaratskhelia in there. There isn't a Desiree Doué or a Dembele in there. It doesn't feel like Arsenal have that calibre of player. And I think with someone like Rogers, I think the potential's there to go on to that next level. But I want kind of, and it's not saying, I'm not saying I don't want to sign him, but I think you need to be looking at the elites of the game.
It's interesting, and we were chatting, weren't we, the three of us with Perry, Andy and I with Perry Groves earlier on before the show. And so many of those elite players don't want to come to the Premier League. They look at it and they think, blimey, that's a slog. You know, there's no easy games. We can't sort of, have a cigar on for 5-6 games a season. It's relentless. You can pick up injuries, which means you can't play for your country, which means you can't go to World Cups. It's, those sort of players like Kvaratskhelia and others are not coming to the Premier League.
Maybe they're not, but the one thing the Premier League has that no one else has is money. And, I think, yes, your Barcelonas and your Real Madrids and your Bayern Munichs can pay it. But I think outside of that, there's a massive chasm between what the Premier League clubs can do financially and everybody else. And I think sometimes it's about getting in there early with someone, isn't it? Like, you look at Erling Haaland, where Manchester City picked him up. I know they paid a lot of money for him and they pay him a big salary, but they were able to kind of get in there and get that deal done before he went to a Barcelona or a Real Madrid. And so sometimes you have to look at that tier of club, like a Borussia Dortmund, and say, that's a player that we believe in. And so you've got to roll the dice and you've got to gamble sometimes. But I think for me now, it's about just bringing in those, as you said, tier 1 players. I'd rather we sign 3 of them than we sign 6 players where some of them are questionable in terms of their level.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
It is. So you're not bitter, you're bittersweet, are you, at the moment? The way you look back over the, I mean, look, you still won the title. That was the key. Again, that phrase, the Champions League final being a free hit, feels like an odd thing to say. But was there an element of that or not? I suppose when you come to, if you'd gone out there and lost 3-1 to them or 2-0. You probably say, oh, well, fair play, they're much better than us. But to come that close and to get through 120 minutes. And then lose on pens. I suppose you can't think like that in the moment, can you?
No, and I took a lot of issue with people saying in the build-up that it was a completely free hit.
Yeah.
It's a Champions League final. It can't be a free hit.
Yeah.
And when you're a club like ours who, has got an incredible history in English football, 14 league titles, but has never won the Champions League, the European thing is always thrown back at us. So I think as fans, we were desperate to see Arsenal do it. And I remember sort of getting home on Sunday morning from Budapest, and when I walked in the door, I was tired, I was disappointed, I was frustrated. And I remember thinking to myself, do I go down to the parade today? Like, I can admit that I was in 2 minds about whether to go. And it's only because my kids desperately wanted to go that I said, do you know what? On no sleep, let's do it. Let's go down there. And I'm so glad I did, because it was a reminder of how far Arsenal have come, how big this club is, how many people love and adore it and support it and follow it. And I thought, it was a nice thing to kind of help you move past that final. I've got regrets about the final, obviously. I don't know why Gabriel took the 5th penalty. That wouldn't have been my choice. I was disappointed in Eze's attempt. You've got to hit the target if you're going to do the starter run-up. But, these are things that happen in football. There's no point in going after individual players or paying too much attention to that, I don't think. Nobody wants to miss a penalty. Nobody intends to. But I think the parade was good in terms of uplifting the mood again and putting everybody back where they should be.